Welcome to another episode of Roadman Reviews.
Hey! You see that? That's a different tone than the last time I've done it. I think I prefer that one, guys. What do you think?
You sound, what's the word?
Annoying.
Really? Okay, well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode.
Nasally?
Lazy?
Nasally. When you're...
Oh, nasally.
Nasally.
That's the word to use.
Annoying.
Guys, this conversation, this episode's already gone to shit, but welcome to another episode of Roadman Reviews. My name's Fist and Daredevil, and thank you very much for joining us today. As always, joined by my awesome co-hosts. The ladies know him as the Iron Fist. It's Mr. Mufid Hassan. How you doing?
I'm not bad.
You like that? Take that in a good way.
Well,
Take it in a good way. It's a good thing.
Well, the Iron Fist in comics, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'll be Iron Fist. Go on.
And then
Jessica Jones.
yes, it's Mr. Big A himself, Ahmed. How you doing?
Why?
Because the alcoholic feminist, and we don't.
I don't drink.
Well, it's not like.
Yeah, but your mood are like her.
Well, it's either her or.
And you dress like her.
After 12 o'clock?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
No.
And then we've got Jessica Jones, Mr. Fernandez.
Hey! I'll take Jessica Jones. Yeah, I'll take Jessica Jones. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. As you probably guessed, we're here
no
to
one
talk.
to be Daredevil. I'd be Daredevil as well.
No, man, we talked about this already. Who did we say he was?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, that's the one, yeah. Guys, we're going to be honest, we're all really, really tired and our jokes are really bad this week, so we apologise in advance. But as we were saying, today, as you probably guessed, we're talking about The Defenders, Marvel's latest entry into their... Would you say it's part of the MCU, or would you say they're part of the Netflix universe? Probably the Netflix universe, guys, right?
Yeah.
Indirect hints. I don't know. Are you expecting them in Captain America films or Avengers? No. So
it's their own universe.
Yeah.
Just New York.
Exactly,
Then
right.
NMCU.
LMCU.
Netflix Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
I've just made that up, so.
Maybe until 2019.
Patent.
Isn't it a patent?
Sorry, guys.
Copyright.
Anyway.
I apologise.
Like you said, today's already gone to shit. Anyway, so as you probably worth mentioning, spoiler warning, guys. We're going to be going in depth into The Defenders and what we thought about it, and obviously talking about key plot points here. Before we do that, though, obviously these Netflix shows have probably been going on since, was it 2013? No, it's actually more 2015, isn't it? I think Daredevil season 1 came out. It was quite recent. It was I think about 2 years ago. Maybe it started coming out, 2 or 3. But anyway, I mean. Ahmed, let's start with you. I mean, what were your thoughts on the Netflix show so far? I mean, which one's been your favourite one?
Obviously, you started off with Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew what we were expecting. Were we going to get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. at the time? Or were we going to get something different? And you know what? We complain often that Marvel don't have the greatest of villains. Boy, did they give us one. And it was brilliant. Daredevil season 1, top notch. Then we had Jessica Jones, which, in all honesty, I respect what they tried to do, but it didn't work for me. So for me, it was okay. They didn't execute. I got bored quite easily. And then you had Daredevil season 2 and the first 4 episodes. Hallelujah. Tell me that's not one of the greatest TV arcs of all time.
Are you talking about The Punisher?
I am talking about that man.
I see. That
man. But and then that season was amazingly strong. And then it started. Luke Cage. First half was really good. Not amazing, just really good. And then the second half just, I don't know why. Is it because some sort of weird storyline anyway? Son, you're my half brother. I'm all of that shit. I don't know. And then you had Iron Fist, which basically was an inside look at how businesses work in New York today. And that was it. Nothing mystical.
With a few fists.
A couple of punches, by the way. So one punch and then we talk about.
You can't have a show called The Iron Fist where he uses his Iron Fist like once or twice in the entire series.
And even when he uses it, it's like, really?
I mean, so
anyway.
What about you, Mufid? I mean, what was your favourite out of all the
For me,
shows so far?
so I put them in order. I got Daredevil season 2, Jessica Jones season 1, Daredevil season 1, Luke Cage and Iron Fist. So anyway, so I'll start.
Sorry, did you just say Jessica Jones ahead of Daredevil season 1?
Can I explain my opinion?
No,
my
not
opinion.
that kind of
Everyone's
opinion.
got opinions, alright.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so
let him breathe. He's had a long day.
No, the reason why I think so Daredevil season 2 was amazing. So the first 8 episodes of the 12, 13 episodes were just amazing, and then it sort of plateaued where nothing much happened, and in the end where you had a bunch of ninjas that were just there and then just disappeared, which was strange. But but yeah, the first 8 episodes, 9 episodes with the Punisher, Daredevil, and then Kingpin towards the 8th, 9th episode was amazing. Jessica season 1 over Daredevil season 1 was because of the storyline. I thought Jessica Jones season 1 was it had a structured storyline with Kilgrave, and that was my opinion. Anyway, that was my opinion.
Just out of interest, what was the storyline? Catch, let go, run around, live with him, catch, let go, and then kill him at the end. Spoiler.
Snap his neck.
Kill him at the end.
Yeah, but all of that was an intense story. There was a backdrop behind it.
What was the backdrop?
The story. Yeah, but the story to the Daredevil season 1 was what he was blind as a
two
kid.
origin stories. It was
It's the origin of the Kingpin and the origin of
Daredevil.
Yeah, but
It's a man.
But I mean, it's not until maybe halfway through the season do you see Kingpin in what you would call a villain in terms of.
To be fair, until the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, episode 2, Kingpin was smashing some guys' door, hitting him with the door.
Yeah,
That's not what a bad guy does. No.
Obviously, you gotta remember at that point he's thinking he's saving the city. He's thinking, I am Daredevil.
I'm the savior. Yeah. You don't really, apart from the end of the season, you don't really see a villain in that season.
Whereas with Daredevil.
In Daredevil season 1.
Yeah, what about Nobu when he's fighting Nobu in the ninja and he gets fucked up?
Yeah, but
you had like 5 gangs.
Yeah, but Nobu's not the real villain. It's Kingpin. It's him versus Kingpin. So back to my point.
I think we've hit a nerve.
Back to my point.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got Kilgrave versus Jessica Jones throughout, and obviously you got different stories in between. And I think that together as a season made it a stronger season than Daredevil season 1.
Fair enough.
Luke Cage was just the hood. Boys in the Hood, that's what it was.
Not even that. Boys in the Hood are the emotional.
Ricky!
Yeah.
Ricky!
A shit version of, I don't know. Anyway, it's...
And
yeah.
Iron Fist probably isn't even worth mentioning at all, is it? Yeah. Is it safe to say that we all kind of thought Iron Fist was a bag of shit?
Yes.
Yeah. Big bag of shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Bag of iron.
I mean, big of iron. Wait, there's a pun in there somewhere, guys, but we're too tired to think of it. Anyway, for me, it was Daredevil season 1. I think that was the opening of it. You know, it's a very clear, concise kind of story, and that was kind of the one that I was really interested in. Won't go into too much detail about the rest. You know, Jessica Jones I thought was very good. Daredevil season 2 I thought was very good. Luke Cage I think I liked a little bit better than you guys, but it was okay. It wasn't hit the highs, and Iron Fist was just kind of abysmal, to be honest with you. Really let down by that one. But now that you kind of know our thoughts on that, it's probably best we kind of move on to the Defenders. So the storyline in the Defenders is the Hand is back in New York to a mysterious kind of project, and no one's really sure kind of what it is. So it's up to Matt Murdock, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Danny Rand to kind of team up and almost form like a dysfunctional family to try and take down the Hand and try and figure out what exactly is going on. So I mean, Ahmed, let's start with you. I mean, what are your overall initial thoughts about the Defenders, having just seen? I mean, have you finished? You've watched all 8 episodes, haven't you? And you finished it. What was it? Sunday?
Monday, actually.
Oh, you finished it yesterday?
Monday, okay. The day before yesterday.
Yeah, this is going up at the right time. Yeah.
Lost for time.
Before you ask you that question, let me ask you a quick question.
Oh, you're asking the question with the
You
question.
can't ask the question. Okay.
Anyway, so obviously you mentioned Luke Cage, especially second half of the season. Most people have said was a weak ending. Iron Fist was shit. What was your thoughts? What did you want from Defenders?
What did I want from Defenders? Yeah. Honestly, I wanted it to be the culmination of everything. I wanted it to be like an event in the sense of character banter, you know, really strong character relationships, but I also wanted the action to be on a better level than all of the other shows combined, because it's obviously a team-up show. I wanted there to be sort of strong villains. I just wanted it to be a very fun 8-episode solid arc where the characters get to do what they want, and it's just really awesome, really fun, a good kind of takeaway. And you know, some of that was met in the show, and some of it wasn't, which I'm sure I'll talk about a little bit later on.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Movie?
Are you hosting now?
Can I ask a question?
Okay. Anyway, so as Chach said,
Jessica Jones has kind of get on. It's
Iron
because you
Fist.
said that earlier on. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's fine.
you both are Jessica Jones. You before 12 a.m. and you after 12 a.m. Anyway,
At least I'm not 6 in the morning.
Ooh. I don't understand what
I
that
don't
means,
understand what
but
that
yeah,
means.
I'm gonna. Guys, the jokes are really bad. Like, seriously
They are.
bad this week.
we should stop with jokes.
I know.
Anyway, what was your bloody thoughts?
My thoughts were, as I like to quote Chach, I'd echo Chach's thoughts.
Go ahead. I don't know who
Echo-
Chach is. Carry on. Sorry.
Can I continue?
Yeah, you can.
My thoughts. I forgot what the question was now.
What did you want from Defenders?
What did I want?
Yeah.
I wanted them to defend.
Defend what?
They are really bad to this too.
But us laughing, we were not accepting as a good joke. We were laughing at how bad the situation is.
So, what I wanted really is for Iron Fist and Luke Cage to sort of step up
Yeah.
because now they're part of the team. So the actions and the storyline in those individual seasons to come together in a better way. Because I thought it was a bit of a lackluster performance in the for
Would you say
for the
Luke Cage's performance or the script was bad?
I don't know if you can blame it. You can probably blame the script or
Because he did what he had to do, I reckon. It was just the script.
the script. Yeah, fine. Well, in that case, it must be the storyline that must have been improved. So with the storyline, improve what we know as Luke Cage and what we know as Iron Fist. Because in the comics, they're good stories, aren't they? And they're good comics and superheroes. And just to have a stronger bond between the two, between the four, sorry, and just a stronger storyline in terms of a villain. I thought they did that well in some parts with the villain being sort of new and who is she, and then they sort of turned to her not becoming a villain anymore because she died. Spoiler warning. To another villain being a villain, but
So
yeah.
what Mufid liked about the Defenders, what he wanted to see in the Defenders was his description of what happened in the Defenders. You
Yes,
see,
yes.
yeah, it's interesting. Amazing. So I mean, it's,
yeah, for me, yeah, good action and a good storyline. There you go.
okay. Well, I guess it's probably time to dive into our initial thoughts. I mean,
Back to your question now.
back to my, yeah. I mean, the first point. Let's just go over kind of what we thought initially of the Defenders. My initial thoughts, honestly speaking, hand on heart, I was a little bit disappointed by this one. It wasn't to the point where it was like an Iron Fist where it was just a disaster and there wasn't anything good in it. But in terms of what I expected and what I really wanted, it just, I don't know what was, it just wasn't there. You know, it just wasn't up to the level that I wanted it to. It's a fun, watchable show. I would tell everyone to go out and definitely watch it. You know, it's a fun, watchable show.
Go out. Where would you go out to?
To Netflix and chill. Go out, right? I'll tell everyone to obviously go and watch it once and have a good time while they're watching it, you know, but it's not one of those things that you could kind of think of revisiting, like Daredevil season 1 and season 2 Jessica Jones. I could easily watch another episode of this. Thought it was good, thought it was fine, but as a show it's okay, it's like bog standard, but in terms of like where I expected to be, I was let down by it. I mean, what about you, Ahmed?
I think I agree. Same. It wasn't a bad show in particular, but from what you were expecting, from what I was expecting, I think it did feel a bit short. It was missing a couple of things, I think. But without obviously giving too much away, I don't think it matched our expectations. The missus will tell you constantly every weekend I was just looking forward to binge weekend, all of that. But again, without going any further, it was disappointing. Didn't meet my expectation.
Yeah.
That way.
For me, in the following weeks to come into it being released, I wasn't really bothered with it being, it's coming out, and when's it coming out? And then when eventually it came out, I thought to myself, it's out. Well, I'll have to watch it anyway, so let's watch it. And more of that was because of the letdown of Iron Fist and Luke Cage beforehand. So I wasn't expecting much of a change. But having said that, it did improve with what I expected.
I'll give you that,
from Iron Fist and Luke Cage. I thought to myself, they've combined 4 characters. They're gonna do it in such a bad way that it just won't make sense. But they've done well. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Well, that kind of nicely leads on to kind of the next point I wanted to make, which is actually breaking down the characters individually, and let's just talking about the actors that played them and the characters as well. I mean, for me,
Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, but I think him and her, Jessica Jones and Daredevil are the strongest characters in this for me, simply because their dynamics work best as a team. You know what I mean? I mean, if you think about it on paper, you know, not Luke Cage, Iron Fist and Daredevil, they're very similar. They're kind of both martial artists. They're both kind of, you know, typical kind of heroes. You know what I mean? But you can tell kind of the difference in the acting performance between kind of, you know, Matt Murdock and between sort of Danny Rand, just in terms of the characters. You know what I mean? And I think Daredevil really stands out, and he stands out because he's kind of like the through line in the entire show. And Jessica Jones as well, and she stands out not because of like she's like the standout or anything like that, but because she's got those one-liners. You know, she's like the comedy relief. She's us in the situation. You know, oh, this is the biggest stupid thing. Oh, nice scarf. You look like an idiot. You know, jokes like that. They're really, really funny. In terms of Danny Rand, in terms of Iron Fist, I think I'm not exactly sure who the actor who plays him, but he's improved this season. I'll give him that. He's better here than he was. The guy from Game of Thrones, Dolores in Game of Thrones. He's better.
Finn.
Yeah. Finn Jones, I think. Finn Jones, that's it. Yeah. So he's better. He's better in this than he was in Iron Fist, but there's still something a bit irritating about him, which the show does use to its credit, but there still is something that just doesn't really feel right. Luke Cage, for me, I felt more of a character arc with Luke Cage than I did with anything else. He had more of a purpose here, I think. You know, he just wanted to save that one kid. And the scenes with him and Iron Fist were actually the real big standout for me. So in terms of the main four, that's what I kind of thought of the acting and the characters in this kind of season. So yeah.
For me, I'll echo Chachi's thoughts. I'll keep saying Chach because he's not the head.
No.
But yeah, for me, Daredevil was a standout performer in the episode in the season. More so than Iron Fist, even though Iron Fist was a sort of protagonist where the hand was after Iron Fist, so you would have thought Iron Fist played a bigger role. But it's funny how you said Matt Murdock was a better actor than Danny Rand. Stick in the season actually said, "Oh, you should lead him." Yeah. Maybe he was hinting to Danny Rand's performance, but maybe not. But yeah, Jessica Jones I thought was really good. I thought she performed really well. Her one-liners, like you said, were and even to the end where she was like, "Come on, Ironclad, let's go." She was like, and he was like, "Okay, let's go, yeah, let's go." Luke Cage, I thought the start it was sort of okay, how's he gonna perform within the group? Is he gonna be sort of the I'm doing what I want because I'm bulletproof and I can do what I want, or is he gonna sort of succumb to the not the pressure but the team? That scene where they a couple of scenes actually between him and Iron Fist where Iron Fist looks at Luke Cage and they have this sort of banter moment and they share something, prawns or something,
something like that, yeah.
And then the other scene where Iron Fist is tied up and Luke Cage is talking to him about stuff and Luke Cage is like, oh, I don't care, and Iron Fist sort of looks at him like a spoiled child, like, oh, okay.
And punch a dragon. And punch a dragon in his heart.
Into his molten heart. And Luke Cage was like, so. And then he was like, okay, fine, tell me, for God's sake. It was sort of like a son-father sort of relationship.
Well, in the comics, it's Heroes for Hire, isn't it? Danny Rand and Luke Cage, they team up and they're, have their own comic series, Heroes for Hire and stuff, which I think they're alluding to. I mean, going off of that, I'd actually prefer if maybe in the future if they kind of scrap Luke Cage season 2 and Iron Fist season 2, just put them together in their own show. I think it would make more sense.
So I thought all of them played well together, with Daredevil being the best. Yeah. Are we going to talk about the villains, or are we going to leave that later?
Mean, I think we can hint on. We'll hear your points, but before we do that very quickly, I mean, I can say for myself, I was a little bit let down by the villains. So if you guys felt the same, maybe we can talk about that in our weaknesses. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, apart from Iron Fist, just put him to the side firstly.
All three of them little box.
All three of them were brilliant. Charlie Cox as Daredevil, 10 out of 10. Man.
He's the definitive Daredevil. Let's be honest.
That is it, man. He's the go-to. And you know what? You mentioned that the Jessica Jones jokes and one-liners. What's brilliant about it is they didn't use her as a cheap one-line trick. That is Jessica Jones' personality. That is how she would react. Like that scene where Stick tells her to shut up and sit down,
Yeah.
and she storms off. Like that is her. And the relationship between them was brilliant. And they were all different. You had Daredevil, who was obviously have his own mental battles about whether or not he wants to continue being Daredevil, and his two friends will come to their weaknesses. Jessica Jones, who genuinely doesn't give two shits. Well, I say doesn't give two shits, but she just wanted to finish her case. Yeah. And she's the investigative mind in the group. And you've got Luke Cage, who's the moral compass, and I liked it a lot. I liked the way they went with that a lot. And he had Iron Fist. First half, he was really bad. I'm sorry, but the first couple episodes, I couldn't wait for him to get off screen. And then the second half, like you said, he wasn't the best, but the director used him in the best way possible. He did what he could with him, and it was alright. It was bearable. Am I looking forward to Iron Fist season 2? Hell no. If him and Luke Cage get together, I don't mind. Put it that way. But yeah.
Okay, I mean, before we go on to the weaknesses, then obviously I want to cover some of the other things, like, you know, we talked about acting and characters and all that kind of stuff. What about the general stuff, the non-broy stuff that we talk about? You know, like cinematography, editing, costumes. I mean, what do you think about the overall production of the show? What were your kind of thoughts on that stuff?
There's one thing I really want to know. Now, we talked about Iron Fist's fight scene in Iron Fist and in this show. I don't feel it. You know, it got better, fair play in the show, but there's no punch. You don't feel the punches. Whereas with Daredevil,
even with the Iron Fist, even when he's got his Iron Fist, you expect him to like smash up a building and stuff, but it just doesn't feel right.
Whereas Daredevil, that guy, I don't know whether it's the acting, but his punches, the way he takes punches, the fight scenes, he's a brawler, but you feel it. Like when he's fighting Elektra at the end, you can feel it. Like at one point I thought, am I fighting someone else? Whereas with Iron Fist, you just don't. Action-wise, I'm a bit disappointed. Yeah,
I mean, again, that's kind of going more into weaknesses, but just to kind of cover the fight scenes, I think for every good fight scene there was like 2 that were bad.
Yeah.
So it was a bit kind of hit and miss, I think.
And also repetitive. Sorry. Which is Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Considering they've got Luke Cage for the whole show, no word of a lie, all I've seen is grab and throw.
Yeah.
Grab and throw. That's all I've seen do the whole show, and then punch one ball. Was that it? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So,
and Jessica Jones is chucking people.
But the thing that was quite funny about Jessica Jones is sometimes they forgot that she had super strength in the show.
Yeah.
And then she's punching people, and then all of a sudden, I can't get. Wait a second, I've got super strength because I'm fighting Madame Gao now. All of a sudden, all right. I mean, generally speaking, in terms of the show looks nice, you know, good camera work and all that kind of stuff. But equally, I don't know what it was about this show. It felt very cheap. It felt very, very cheap for some reason, and I'm not sure why. It almost felt like on the level of the CW shows. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know whether it was I mean, I'll give you an example. So, for example, again, we're talking spoilers. The last scene where they're blowing up the building, you expect to see a massive explosion, but they cut away from it. No dust, none of that kind of stuff. It's just like a tiny little explosion, and that's it. And the set that they're fighting in, right at the end, they're fighting under the dragon, like Danny Van's dragon. Really cheap looking kind of thing, you know what I mean? I'm just like, what's kind of going on here? I mean, it was a bit disappointing as well for me, just in the sense that, okay, from an action standpoint, let's have a look at Daredevil season 2 ended with Daredevil and Elektra fighting like 30 ninjas on a roof. Okay, makes sense. But here it was just like, okay, a bit of shaky cam, we're fighting Elektra, fighting a couple of people. What's
in the dark as well. A lot of fighting in the dark, which is annoying.
Well, I think that was their intention, but it didn't play off as well they should have. And like you guys said, it wasn't there. It's hard to explain, but you don't feel the impact of that fight scene or those fight scenes. It's just people just messing about and this person chucking this person to the side. And apart from Daredevil scenes, which were again, it is repetitive because obviously he's a martial artist and he can fight, and that's Daredevil.
But his fights are brilliant.
That's what I'm saying. His were the only fights that I was looking forward to. When the cameras cut the scene to him, and then you cut the scene back to Jessica Jones, and she'd flip this person here and kick this person there
and have a drink.
I hated that bit, by the way. Which that's another negative, but we'll talk about it later. Anyway, so I just felt like in terms of the action and for 4 superheroes that have different powers. You don't really feel
that change that dynamic a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what. One of the things I did like about the production is I did like the use of lighting in it. So I like how whenever Daredevil was on screen, it was red, and then Luke Cage, it was kind of yellow, and then
Luke Cage yellow. Sorry.
And then the other thing is, well, the open and Jessica Jones Purple, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I really like the intro as well, like the intro music and everything. I thought it was really interesting the way
To
they
be
did
honest,
that.
it grew on me. The first episode, I didn't really like
Yeah.
it. But then the second or third, I thought, you know what?
I thought it was alright.
It's alright.
That being said, though, the music in the show was very iffy. Apart from the opening kind of thingies, I mean, the last battle of rap song come, like, was it Wu-Tang Clan? I think it was. They just come on all of a sudden, like, what the hell? Okay, this is completely out of pace. Doesn't make any sense. And then even some of the scenes where I think it was Colleen and Claire, they're hiding away from the bad guy, but I can't remember the bad. Is it Butiko? Or Bakuto, that's the guy. Yeah. And then all you hear is this dun 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 dun. And I was like, what's going on? This is just weird, you know. So musically, it was a bit kind of off as well.
I mean, I get the introduction to Luke Cage when he's back on the bus and there's hip hop. Fine, that's the hip hop scene, and Luke Cage had a lot of hip hop music. But that last scene, literally, you had 8 episodes of normal hip hop music, literally, maybe bits here, bits there, and it's the last major battle scene, and you hear a rap song. It's like
this is it fits for Luke Cage, but why would it work here?
This isn't You Got Served.
Yeah.
So what really? Anyway,
You got defended. Oh shit, that's horrible. But yeah, I mean,
again, jokes are bad.
Jokes are bad. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of some sort of like the production stuff. But again, let's just go into the meat of it then, guys. So, like you said, we all kind of were disappointed with it. So what is it? I mean, Ahmed, what is it to you that was just not with you? What did you like about the show?
This should have been Iron Fist's storyline season 1.
Yeah?
This should have been his storyline. For first things first, if the hand are going to be that shit,
don't
just
give me
give him to Iron Fist
Yeah.
as the first season, because for starters, okay, let me ask you one question first. He broke the hell out of me. Where are all the ninjas?
Yeah.
Where are all the ninjas? We've seen more ninjas in Daredevil's separate season than we have in the whole the hand of here. There's meant to be 10 million of them.
Yeah, people with guns.
Of 10 of them.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the second thing is, up until this point, we don't know much about the hand. We don't know who the leader is. We don't know nothing. So I'm really excited.
Yeah,
to,
what's the big thing going to be?
Yeah, and the myth as well, the story behind it. 5 Fingers is a old lady we've seen for the last 3 years. It's another one that's just got cancer.
Yeah.
A
guy who's whipped on Colleen.
Yes, a guy who is the definition. He's a pretty boy that got whooped 5 times anyway. At one point, Claire's fighting him. What else do you need? And he got Suwande, who was cool. I did like him.
And then he gets his head chopped off.
And there you go.
Yep.
And then last but not least, you had the most dangerous, Sticks words, the most dangerous, evilest guy who got his ass whooped so many times.
He jumps through the window and he's like, he's going to do some shit. Yeah, he gets kicked on the floor like 3 seconds and he just doesn't do
His
anything.
ass whooped.
Yeah.
These guys are meant to be the villains. Now, every time you watch a film, you always understand that the villains will be this
in support of the
unbeatable-
story or things like that.
And also, it's an unbeatable sort of group. It looks, how do you win? Dudes were whooping. Luke Cage took me out. Sorry.
You know what else was really interesting? Just to jump in very, very quickly, it's the fact that about halfway through the show there were no stakes in it anymore. They were like, well, the hand's already on the back foot in the first like 4 or 5 episodes. Who the fuck cares? You know what I mean?
I've never seen a show where the villains and the good guys chill so much. That's the other thing.
They
have a WhatsApp group together. That's
Weaver. There you go. What's her name? Weaver. She walks in casually to the restaurant. Guys, let's talk. Let me borrow this Iron Fist guy. I need him for a couple of hours. You guys carry on with your life. When she goes to the Chinese
Alexandra, sorry. Yeah.
You're thinking, why is everyone so relaxed?
Yeah.
So, bear in mind, there's, so if we're talking about bad points, have you finished your bad points?
Yeah.
Or is it
no, well, there's
more. So in terms of villains, I'll echo Ahmed's thoughts. When you first introduce, what's his name? The last finger?
Bakudo?
Suwande. No, not Suwande.
No, the
Japanese guy.
Japanese guy. I forgot what his name is now.
I don't know. I call him ass whoop.
I call him index finger.
I call him haunted bear killer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when it's first introduced, I don't like that scene where Alexander.
He was a good actor, to be fair. He was very
but it was so sort of like you expected a lot more from him when he was talking to Alexandra in Japanese, and it's like something about tongues, this and getting your hands dirty and whatnot, and then as soon as he jumps into the building,
he gets his ass kicked.
And then there's a scene where Daredevil fights both him and Bakuto. Now these are the 5 fingers. Five fingers. Like one blind guy is fighting Bakuto, who's supposed to be like the martial artist of the hand, and the guy that can kill haunted Japanese bears or. Oh, it was just too funny,
the
man.
thing is, why it's so annoying is
Yeah.
when Alexandra goes to him, it looks like she's going to someone who can help her.
Yeah.
Someone like, look, I need your
I need
help.
you.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
Need who? Go.
Like, you're
What's
the
his
fun
name? What's the guy that always gets whooped by Daredevil and Luke Cage and everyone? And they
Oh
use
yeah,
information.
the black guy that always gets
What's his name?
I can't remember him though. The one that always gets knocked out.
He always get knocked out. He always sells guns.
In Daredevil.
Yeah.
In Daredevil season.
Yeah.
He's even. I want my money. Where my money?
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah.
If that's the
Oh, the guy that got knocked out by Luke
Luke
Cage.
Cage this season.
Yeah.
Just get him then. It's like
It was just too. Yeah, it was just hilarious.
I
Like,
mean-
there were, but it's not just one scene where that happened. Obviously, there were loads of
You
fight
could forgive
scenes.
it if it was one scene here or there and stuff,
Like
but
there were loads of fight scenes where no one would win, and then people would run away
Yeah.
or they'd disappear and do something else, and then they'd meet at another building, fight there, and then people would disappear again, and then in the end when they met at North Midland Construction, or
whatever it was called.
whatever it's called,
That building with a hole.
Midlands Construction,
Midland Circle.
London Midlands. Grabbing a train lads.
Midland Circle Construction over.
whatever it's called. It was just too funny because you got Luke Cage fighting one person, and you got Daredevil fighting two, and you got
Jessica Jones getting up, but all of a sudden Madame Gau's
And
got
they
like
got
telepathic powers
yeah.
and she still loses.
And that's the other thing. Again, coming back to the fighting part, it's repetitive. What has Madame Gao done for the whole season?
literally she walks, and then like
Let's one off, let's be honest, lad. Does a fart and pushes
and then
them
camera
away.
comes on there, it's like push, and it's like, alright, I'm fine now, that's it, I'm tired.
Now, I don't mind if she was the one that was repetitive.
Yeah.
She's an old woman, maybe blah blah blah. I would say, alright,
Yeah, but
she's
she could have
badass.
done a lot more, man.
Yeah.
Like considering she had all those powers, she did. She
But I wouldn't have minded
pushed
if
a box.
everyone else was creative.
She pushed one box.
Well, I mean, okay, I tell you what, let's
Oh,
move on
yeah.
because, we said, fight scenes are awful, the villains are very weak. I think for me, it's the fact that the overall story was just kind of weak, was very weak.
Yeah.
They should, okay, for me, the defenders should maybe fight, okay, the hand could be one option, but maybe just find like a local crime syndicate, go against them or something like that. But like, the hand's plan was just very weird. Okay, we want to go and extract this powder, which makes us live forever. We've got Elektra back now all of a sudden, who's the black guy who doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. She's
Yeah, we
she's
have to
Superman
talk-
one scene,
I was
and
gonna
Batman
get
the
that.
next in terms
Yeah.
of power level.
Yeah. So she does that, and then you've also got like, okay, so the hand's big plan is we're gonna get all this powder, we're gonna resurrect people. Oh, I'm gonna destroy New York by part of it for some reason. Why did they want to destroy New York? I don't really know. They just want to blow it up because of the bones, maybe. It wasn't really explained very properly.
So what do you think about Elektra? Because obviously we've talked about the Five Fingers.
She's a perfect.
Basically-
She didn't need to be in the show.
Yeah.
Honestly, there was no reason for her to be in the show. I understand why they tied Matt to her because it makes sense and stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like. And the way she was portrayed in the show wasn't very well in the sense that, okay, so does she remember everything now?
Yeah.
Does she not remember everything? If she remembers everything, why is she acting like a dick to Matt? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
And the fact that the hand are scared of Elektra, in a sense, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's like you brought one woman back from the dead, and now she's stronger than the hand.
And she hasn't done anything.
And she has. It's just so.
I wasn't. To be fair,
I like the actress who plays Elektra. I think she does a good job. But I think in terms of the story, it's just it's just not that good.
No, I agree with that. But I mean, now coming back to your overall storyline, I didn't understand the purpose. I mean, for 5 years or whatever it was, Sticker's been running around saying this is the unbeatable war.
Yeah.
This is the greatest war.
It's like, how shit is your soldiers being there if you've been losing this
Oh
war?
my god!
But bear in mind, it happened over 8 episodes.
Yeah.
3 of those, nothing happened.
Yeah, the first 3 they don't even get together.
Oh, that's
Nothing
the other
happened.
thing as well. Is
Yeah.
it starts.
The 4th
slow.
episode, pretty much nothing happened.
Until the hall and
Until the
everything.
hall.
Yeah.
And then half of 5, and then they were talking to each other, and Iron Fist was tied up, and then Elektra comes at the end, takes Iron Fist away, and then nothing happens, and then nothing happens, and then episode 8.
Nah, that's why I disagree with you, man. For me,
It
I
did
agree.
pick up
The
towards the
first season, the first half is slow. 2-3 episodes are so slow, but the end strong for me.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 were good. Were really good actually. I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
those
that's because
two.
it's just a reaction, but if
And
they,
it came together. Everything actually just moved. You know what? You had the structure.
Yeah.
Get Iron Fist back, and that was it. They just got on with that. But and the thing is, when you watch the first episode, what was your initial thoughts? You know what? Slow build up, but I don't mind.
Yeah.
Give them time. It's a
Yeah,
season.
I give 'em time,
We can
yeah.
afford it. Oh my god! It's called The Defenders, not How I Met Your Mother or whatever it is. We don't have 10 years.
How I Met Your Iron
because
Fist.
bear in mind, I wouldn't mind that episode if it was a 13 episode season
Yeah.
or 12 episode.
Yeah.
You had 7 more episodes, and then watching second season episode 2, it's like, okay, man, we got 6 more. Man, hurry up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then episode 3, no, seriously, we got
Yeah.
5 more. Like,
What we doing here, lads? Come
what
on.
we're doing here, and then it slowly builds up, and then it was a season where I was like, oh, it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Stop. And then I'd want to watch another one, and then I'd watch another one. I think that maybe season episode 5 or 6, I was like, okay, I'll watch another one, but it wasn't like the end of season episode 3, start of season episode 4.
What are we talking about? I got really confused there. Sorry.
Where
Another episode? What episode are we talking about?
the end of the episode where they're about to fight in a restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Is that end of episode?
Yeah.
Episode 3.
Episode 4. Episode 3 actually. Yeah. Episode 3.
No, not episode 3 when the restaurant are fighting. That's like because episode 4 or 5 I think it is.
4, yeah.
4.
Yeah.
End of episode 3 is where they're going down the lift after Electra. Anyway, in essence, yeah, it could have been improved a lot with the villains. The 5 fingers of the hand, and the hand it was a broken hand.
I think again from it's a pacing issue again. You know, the pace was a bit iffy. They should have tightened up the pace and just have them kind of interacting, because the interacting was the best thing. Another weakness I think in the show was almost like it's this person from this show. Do you remember them? Oh, like Hogarth the lawyer shows up for one scene. What's the point in there? Foggy and Thingy don't need to be in there. You know what I mean? Like Claire needs to be in the show because she's in all the shows. But it's just like, why are all these other characters in there that don't really need to be in? Like it just feels. You know what? I think I know what the biggest weakness in the show is. It's padded. It's got too much filler, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, for a show that's only 8 episodes, how do you have this much filler? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Do you feel it's because they have to just add storylines for each character because of what happened in the last season? Okay, Luke Cage had Misty Knight around, we need to have her as this.
But if you're going to do that, make the spectacle be huge. Don't keep the spectacle the same and just have like general kind of storylines. Make it larger than life, you know what I mean?
I think the reason why they do that, because, I mean, there's scenes where you got Trish talk for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, she talks about an earthquake, and then she talks about something else or whatever. I think maybe the reason why they keep her in and Malcolm.
Yeah.
And
side characters basically.
The side characters for Daredevil is because when they've introduced the individual seasons again, they're there, so to sort of follow the story. But
honestly, I think there's only 3 or 4 side characters: Claire, Colleen, what's his name, Foggy, and
Trish,
Misty.
Yeah.
Purely because they serve the purpose. Trish talk even, you could have replaced her storyline easily.
No, you can replace it, but obviously because they introduced that figure. And
the other thing is, what do you think about Karen and Foggy's behaviour? Bad, disgusting behaviour. Don't be Daredevil. You like he's alcohol anonymous and he's recovering or something. You're doing so good in life.
And then he gives the bag.
I respected Foggy for that,
And Foggy gives the bag.
But I didn't get that. It's like, no, that's annoying. It took me out of the show every time. It was really annoying. But
it didn't feel.
I thought they were. But I thought they were the weakest.
Yeah.
Side
it just, you know what it was.
Even Malcolm, who did nothing, was probably stronger.
It just felt like, you know.
Who's Malcolm?
Jessica Jones'
Jones'
partner or whatever.
Oh, that's what I remember.
It just felt, honestly, like a bit of a missed opportunity. That's what it was for me. It just felt like they could have really strengthened it up a little bit more, maybe done a little bit more, but they didn't. I mean, just wrapping up then, guys. I mean, what if you had to give this 1 out of 10? I mean, where would you kind of give? I mean, Muffy, what would you give this out of 10? Do we rate TV shows? I can't remember. I think we do. We'll just say we do. Anyway, what would you give it out of 10? I'm
inclined to say 5 because of the 5-finger hand. But no, I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it again. I'm glad I watched it because obviously it continues with the story. I'd give it maybe 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 7, but I thought
7.
I was.
Really?
I was. Wait. But
it's got a proper like. But that's Jessica Jones. This one, isn't it? Yeah.
No, Jessica Jones, I'd rate, but
yeah, you would.
Not rate.
Anyway, I said okay. Wow. Okay, that's getting cut out later on.
So anyway, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. Next.
I think I agree. I think because overall it ended strong. So I'll say that firstly, it ended strong. I really enjoyed the last 3 episodes. If Defenders season 2 were to come out, I would consider, maybe probably not, but I'd consider watching the last 3. I won't watch any of the other show. Bar Iron Fist, the rest of them were really good. So action, like you said, had really good moments and then just let down on the other end. 6.5.
6.5.
It could have, if they got a couple of things right, it could have been an easy 7.
6.5.
So, but 6.5, I'd give it, and I'd place it third on my list, ahead of Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist.
You think this is better than Jessica Jones?
Yeah, I think it's better than all of them.
You
apart
have
from Daredevil, season 1 and 2.
Serious.
You think it's better than Jessica Jones?
I think it's better than Jessica. You've got to bear in mind, I was falling asleep after episode 2 of Jessica Jones.
Really?
Yeah, I was bored.
Okay, well, I give this a.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, give it a. I'm not allowed to rate anything. I don't like this. I give it a 6 out of 10. Didn't like it as much as you guys, and by the sounds of it, was again really let down by it. In terms of where this stands, I'd say it's probably on the same level as Luke Cage, and I think obviously Iron Fist is still the worst show. Just again, there are moments in here that are really good. You know, in terms of the actual character interactions, we want to know that that's all fun.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the action's okay, and it's. If you like Marvel stuff, obviously watch it on Netflix and just check it out generally, but only watch it once. I'd say that's kind of my recommendation to it. So 6 out of 10 for me.
I also read the article that
You don't read, you don't know how to. Don't lie.
I just learned
You
recently.
read. Okay, you watched the pictures. Okay.
I watched the pictures.
Yeah.
That wrote about so you know how Iron Fist gets taken the piss out of in this season. A lot of people commented on the fact that did the directors get that based on the reviews that Iron Fist had in his individual TV series, but then they replied and said no, we started filming the Defenders before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But that made me laugh anyway.
I think
because Iron Fist is shit.
I mean, for me, I think the man who will return us to Netflix greatness is John Castle. Is it John?
John, who the fuck is John Castle? Frank Castle.
Frank Castle. Sorry, Frank, don't kill me. Frank Castle, the Punisher.
He's going to punish you.
The Punisher. I'm looking forward to that. I think. I honestly think that will be the one that will match Daredevil.
Yeah.
For action, for storyline. I think so.
I don't think it will.
You know why? They know. First things first. The lead character is actually good.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And secondly, I think the producers and the directors know what they want from the character, what the fans want from Punisher.
But I don't think they'll be as good as a storyline as Daredevil.
It won't, because you got four episodes non-stop.
Yeah, that's the issue though. I think that's the issue where it might fall behind Daredevil. Is that the storyline is not as... Yeah, the Punisher's great. Yeah, but he was great in a great storyline.
Yeah.
In Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
In this storyline...
I mean, how many people can Punisher really kill?
That's the thing.
How many people
Okay, remember the prison scene. Remember the prison scene.
He killed about 30 people there.
To be fair, that was the best
There's going
scene.
to get a point when you're going to get bored of just watching people die, I'll be honest. Well, then, my friend, you are a sick person. Okay.
all I'm saying is, you give me
He
beginning...
was nodding his head, by the way, saying, no, I won't get sick.
You give me beginning, middle, and end of those prison scenes. I'm sleeping like a baby, man. That's it. But no,
You're going to
obviously...
sleep like a baby?
That's
Okay,
just
alright,
weird,
well,
man.
yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
pure weird.
Well,
Sorry,
moving on.
softies.
I mean, I guess only question I've got for the guys is, what were your thoughts on the Defenders, and if you could be a Defender, who would you be?
And I've got one last question for you.
You chopped my question with another question again.
Sorry, yeah.
You will-
He's getting brave today.
I know. Sorry.
I've got a question. Would you like Ahmed not to stop asking
I
questions?
like that question. I like that
question.
question.
Haters, sweet sister. But anyway, I've got a question. Season 1, episode whatever, God knows, when Stick first shows up.
Yeah.
Remember where Stick goes
Daredevil.
back to? He goes to his master realm.
Yeah.
Who the hell is that big guy?
Well, it doesn't matter because he's dead now.
Oh yeah, that's true. Stick died. But anyway, if you
Not
guys
Stick,
know
all the hands dead.
No, but I
No,
know.
whatever they call the.
If you guys know who I'm
anti-hands.
talking about, the big guy who Stick went to at the end
He's
of
dead.
season 1, let us know.
Who's
That
dead?
wasn't the hand.
Yeah, no. It was the. But he said all the members of the Thing died.
Stick is dead.
The Chase, yeah, all the members of the Chase are dead.
So why would I give this guy special screen time if he's no one
He's
special?
got a hench back on it. He's got a hench back.
Okay.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why.
that's true. Where's he?
Yeah.
He's dead, didn't it?
And I don't think so. I think he'll come back out of nowhere.
The chase will be the new hand. That's what I think. Anyway.
So
can wrap it up.
wrapping up, we've asked a couple of questions, probably about 17. So answer whichever one of those you like in the comments.
Yeah, answer.
That's alright.
As always, you can find us on Facebook at Roadman Reviews, Twitter at Roadman Reviews. our YouTube channel, which you'll probably listen to this on, or if you prefer to listen to us on SoundCloud at Roadman Reviews, you can find us there. Did I miss out Instagram? Are we on it? Yeah, we're on Instagram. You can check
We're
us out
on
there.
everything.
We're on everything.
Everything.
Like a
and
rash. You can't get rid of
Five
it.
fingers of the hand.
Like the 5 fingers of the
10
hand.
fingers with no
Yeah.
bones.
And also on that note, we'd
What?
like to give Stick a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so there we go.
Well, you know what to say, guys. It's all uphill from that here. You know, we've only got the Inhumans coming out soon, which looks.
Let's just wrap up there.
Yeah, just wrap up there. Well, yeah, Ahmed, Mufid, thank you both very much again, as always. And
Ahmed Chach, thank you very much, as always.
who the fuck is Chach? I don't know who this guy is.
Okay,
I know a handsome
thank
guy
you
called
guys.
Ahmed.
Thank you
But,
guys.
yeah, thank you very much for your time. And bye. Check you guys next week.
Bye.